You are now watching 34th Olympiad. It's been great. Hold on, we gotta reverse this. Murray, you have the air trumpet.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico.
Mike Tirico.
I got to tell you, and Alan, don't yell at me right away. Give it a breath. I haven't watched a second of the Olympics because of that fucking opening ceremony. And it's not because I was offended by the opening ceremony. It's because I said this. The fuck is this? And I just turned the channel.
Fair.
And in the past, when we've watched the Olympics at the house, like we end up watching the opening ceremony and like the channel doesn't change. So when I turn the TV on, the Olympics is on. And because I turned the channel during the opening ceremony, I have not sought it. The only sporting event that I look for is Orioles baseball. So like I didn't, I don't know. I've got to figure out a way to dive back in.
Yeah, I haven't really watched it. I don't blame you. No, and I didn't watch the whole thing because like you, I was like, what's happening here? And
I missed it. I missed the opening ceremonies.
I don't know, dude. There's just a lot going on, and it was all weird, kind of. But it's also
wasn't
France.
A bunch of countries walking out with athletes and flag bearers.
There was a man that was inside of a Tom and Jerry platter with like the silver lid, and when you took it off, he was naked with just a thong made out of flowers. And he had a red beard, and he was painted blue, and he was singing like this, but in French. Yeah, and there's a guy behind him in like leather with his balls hanging out. Like that's legit. You can look it up.
The guy's balls did fall out. Yeah.
And the big controversy with it is that it's set up like the Last Supper. So Christians, like tried and true Christians, lost their fucking mind.
Lost their fucking minds.
And folks like me didn't lose their mind, but were like, huh? I don't like this. It makes me feel a way that I'm not comfortable with, and you can judge me how you please on that. But I just said, I will just turn this away now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even make it to that part. Yeah. It was weird before then.
Yeah. A lot of trannies, transsexuals, gender dysmorphed individuals.
I think transsexuals works.
Okay.
But I didn't even notice that. I don't know. I remember that robot horse like streaking through the river, and I was like,
I'm in already.
This is fucking weird. The French fucking heavy metal band named after the Japanese way of saying Godzilla was playing heavy metal like on like these like erect like these ledges of this fucking like very ornate French building. I don't know what building it was. Looked like maybe some parliamentary type stuff. It was just fucking strange in general. And then I guess you get to all this shit, which is also weird. But I was just like, that's France. That's what I kind of expected. The whole Christian losing their mind shit. I mean, what's new? Fucking. If it ain't about them, it ain't about nothing. So fucking, it is what it is. Fucking, but no, it was just generally odd.
It was yes.
And I think like, even the way they did the parade for the athletes was on the river. Like the river is the focus of fucking like the whole thing because I mean it's really all they got except for that stupid piece of tin that fucking stands up in the air. So like, fucking, it like all the athletes were on boats.
Yeah.
And it was pouring rain. And it was just like, it looked miserable. Like, I don't know. It was just, France, you fucked it, is all I'm saying.
Have you ever seen, Wes, have you ever seen like that, it's a viral like YouTube video and it's this guy, he's just like, he's literally doing that with his mouth.
I haven't even seen that.
No. Oh, wow. I'll send that to you guys later. That was the opening ceremony. That's just, he's... Yeah. That was every song. I think that's the exact lyrics, and that was pretty much the entire.
There was
So
that
four-
one
four-
song. I did see one song performance where like the lady, there was just a lady singer and like a pianist that accompanied her, and they were like on a floating piece of garbage. Everything was floating, going down the Seine, and like,
Gotcha.
yeah, it was fucking weird. But like,
That's
again,
a-
I was like, France feels right. Like, yeah.
It's a
But
shame. It is okay. I do think I don't watch a lot of opening ceremonies, and I watch zero closing ceremonies because none of the pageantry of that excites me. What excites me is the athleticism, which is a shame because the world we live in, and I'm thinking about. I'm transporting myself back to the mid 90s. Okay, specifically 1992 Barcelona, 1996 Atlanta, and then 2000 Sydney, where we lived in a world where it was one network. Whoever had it, I don't know if it was NBC then, but
It was. They've had it for
they've had
it forever.
a long time.
And you would get week one swimming and gymnastics, and you'd get tidbits of, hey, we're gonna show you highlights of the gold medal match from da 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 da, and it would be 15 seconds, and that would be it. And my dad would scream because it would be 4 hours of gymnastics coverage, and I'd be like, can't you just shut the fuck up and watch it? And I wish my dad was alive for a day with two specific NBC channels that's other coverage, USA and then Peacock, where I can watch anything that I want. And I do. I've watched it all, man. I've watched fucking judo, table tennis, handball, which is
I was
weird sport.
watching
Polo,
handball,
which I fucking hate. Water polo. I'm trying to think. I saw a Guatemalan win the first ever gold for the country of Guatemala, who I found out was supposed to go to London in 2012 to be a gymnast, and she hurt her back, and then took up fucking clay pigeon shooting, which it's not called clay pigeon shooting, and she won a gold and set the world record, or set the Olympic record for most fucking discs fucking plucked.
Skeet.
Yeah, she skeeted all over that goddamn track. No,
Nice.
it's been, even today, man, we watched the marathon walkers, which
That sounds awful.
not only does it sound awful, it looks, these people are bound for fucking MCL surgeries.
Okay, let me tell you
not one, but probably dozens.
I trained to be a power walker for a 5K, and I came in second place. And it is a discipline that is shown zero respect, rightfully so. But I can power walk currently, even still, at about 6 miles per hour. And I challenge any of you to not break stride and fucking go into a jog at 6 miles per hour. Like 6 miles per hour is what like fucking like pussified like single moms fucking jog at around the track.
I would take up that challenge because I always used to jokingly power walk around places. Like, I think I got it pretty good. I don't know if it's good form or it would last me long, but I think I can get to the speeds that we're talking about here.
He's the power walking 100-meter champion.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Representing Nicaragua, it's Alan Yanez.
Oh man, is this a thing I can get into? I might do this.
You could be the flag bearer.
Could you
Yeah, man.
Think about
about
that.
it, man.
You could have been front row seat for Ball Guy and
You should.
robotic horse.
I gotta
should play
Fucking
handball.
LA's around the corner, buddy.
listen. Alan, you do have direct ties to a very tiny country with not a lot of like people that are great at any one discipline.
Yeah.
So if you really found like a
Hold
wildly
on.
what?
Nicaragua did make the knockout round in the last World Cup, so let's.
Okay, all right, but we're talking soccer. That's a team sport. I'm talking about an individual event, and
Okay, fair enough.
And something again, low impact, high skill. I just feel like that's something that a guy in his like mid-30s still has the opportunity to accomplish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or maybe I can get my brothers and we could do curling. This
Winner.
is automatic ticket, right?
I mean,
They don't have a
that's
fucking curling team. Let's be real.
a 3-person sport with I think up to 2 alternates.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I just need to find like I got 2 cousins. I got like
Okay.
80 of them.
you guys would be 5 of 5 representing the entire country in
Yeah,
the Winter
that's what I'm
Olympics.
saying.
I don't even know
cool
where the next
fucking
one
running,
is.
dude.
Salt
You
Lake
guys
City's
be-
coming up.
You guys be
Yeah,
hitting
like,
fucking like
it-
vape pens and just fucking like all
Yeah.
fucking blurry eyed.
Fucking
Sweep.
Dropping the flag. You hold it. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
And your brothers just yelling fucking nonsense at each other.
yeah, dude. I don't think they have a curling team. Like
Hmm.
I'm just doing a cursory look here. You know, a Nicaragua curling team, I think, would give me at least something. I'm not saying it.
And dude, do you remember that chick who, like, I don't know, some bureaucrat sent to like qualify like in like the 100-meter dash, and she got beat by 90 meters?
Oh yeah, I think it was like Saudi Arabia or something like that.
And the Olympic Committee was like, all right,
Kuwait.
seriously, we're up for some shenanigans. Well, who the fuck's wife is that? Like, see, that's
Yeah.
you could do that. You could at least like be at a qualifying round, and because you're one of one from one country, like you would probably make the team.
They can mic you up.
Yeah,
Oh fuck yeah, I'd mic myself up.
and that's what would be great.
That whole thing would be a middle class holes bit.
Because you know why? Because they'd send an interpreter out to the mic, and you'd just be like, "Okay, yeah, I don't speak,
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish actually." So,
I do, but like I would make like Brian do it or something. He's not good with it.
He called his
Like,
brother
here,
a
you do
taint
it.
cock. What I
Yeah.
think that means is just an extension of the area between your,
It's specifically the
penis.
taint to cock transitional area.
right.
okay,
Yeah,
well,
this one.
I know you're jazzed up about the Olympics, so what's
Yeah,
Watch.
what's the next
like,
winner?
watched a lot of boxing.
2026?
I watched beach volleyball. Excuse me. And probably one of my favorite Olympic sports, the indoor volleyball. I just in men's and women's. I just something about human beings jumping that high with that amount of athleticism, and in a team environment where you're setting, you're faking spikes in certain directions, you're just mashing a ball. I think they've clocked some at like 86, 87 kilometers per hour. God, I don't know how many miles per hour that is, 60, 70 or something like
I
that.
think it's 150.
It goes up. Yeah, but no, it's a different era, and I love it. I love the fact that I can watch any of those, and I can, if I want to watch a particular event in its entirety, I can do that. And it'll be even more exciting next week when track and field comes up.
I look, I'm all about the multiple channels and being able to be introduced to sport. Because I mean, back in the day, you're right, they had one network, and it was like, okay, what are the creme de la creme? What are the top sports? What are we going to highlight? What do people want to see the most of?
Swimming and gymnastics.
And I think that people like us want to see more. Like, I like watching the gangster guy that's making his rounds on the fucking memes right now. The dude from Turkey with the fucking, like, the shooting. That guy's balling the fuck out. Wins a silver medal. That guy is a stone cold fucking killer. That guy is in some special forces unit that just recently retired and was like, hey, Ahmed, you should do this. Like,
Yeah.
what?
He knows Krav Maga, that Israeli hand-to-hand combat, and he's a deadeye with that gun. He's been shooting beer cans and beer bottles for decades.
Dude.
Hey man, fucking get out there.
That guy looks like a fucking like corporate doctor for some megalomaniac fucking like, I don't know, like Christiana Care who comes in and is like, but why are you here? You know, like just salt and pepper hair. He's like 52 years old. Doesn't even close an eye. Puts a hand in his pocket to fucking shoot a fucking pistol. Gets second place. All the rest of these motherfuckers walking out with like RoboCop fucking visors on, standing in weird poses. This guy's like, blink. What? It's a 10,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah. Cool.
Is that
It
target
was wild.
shooting?
It's some kind. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what those guns are. Like they got to put like a blasting cap in there, and like it's milled out of stainless steel. It's pistol shooting, but it's not a real pistol. I don't know. Olympic pistol shoot. Who cares? It's awesome to see. I love seeing regular Joes compete at such a
Exceed that.
high level. That's
Yeah.
where it gets great.
Yeah. I have the two sports that have gotten somewhere in my frustration list. One okay, handball, I get it. I think I kind of understand. Like, you can't shoot within the paint. You know, yeah, you have to jump at a certain point. It just seems like
You don't have to jump. It allows you to technically kind of get closer.
sure, but it's frustrating to watch. But there are some super exciting moments. Water polo. That's one. It's whistle after whistle after whistle after whistle, and then it's almost like the teams foul to a point where, like, okay, yeah, we need to send. They have to send someone off. Like, we sat there and jockeyed underneath the pool, and we grabbed this guy's crotch 15,000 times in a row. It was like beep 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 beep. All right, too much crotch grabbing. You guys are a person down, and then it's kind of open sesame. And I don't. It's not that I don't appreciate the stamina and the water treading for that amount of time.
It's just not fun to watch.
It's not. No. It isn't.
No, I 100% agree. And I do. You sent us a message earlier, like, why don't we get like some former basketball players and this and then this? And we just fucking wreck shop. Like, they learn the rules in like 4 hours, and we send them out there and we fucking win gold. 100%. I agree with you, because not to disrespect anybody who's made this their lifelong discipline, but. Look, man, if you've made this your lifelong discipline, I'm sorry. Water polo is I knew some guys in college who were on the water polo team at the University of Maryland, and I'm like, hey, man, good for you. Like,
Yes.
My cousin Fred
we
was
had
on the water polo team.
We had it at my high school, and I remember being like, "Is this fun for you guys? Like, do you enjoy yourselves?" They were like, "Yeah, it's cool," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't look fun." I mean, yeah, do your thing, man. Good for you.
Like,
But
I would say, like, even lacrosse is like a borderline respectable sport for like Olympic athlete, because
yeah,
I respect lacrosse players. It just doesn't grab my interest.
Yeah.
But I get what you're doing is great.
What about
But
field
it's
hockey?
not. I think field hockey on the Olympic level, the professional level, is amazing, and I'm actually mad that, like,
Alan disagrees. We'll get to that in a minute.
it never did it for me. But good.
well, when we were in high school, it was like the soccer version, because there was no girls' soccer team in the early 90s. The girls' soccer version was field hockey. And I didn't even know men played field hockey until I saw it on the Olympics once. And I was like, what? This is a thing? I would have been great at that. But again, men's field hockey is like the professional lacrosse of an Olympic sport. It just is. It's like, you're not going to get a lot of respect unless you're literally from like Scotland or Ireland. That's it.
Yeah, it's got a good point.
So field hockey just doesn't do it for you, Alan?
No, the game itself. I was not. I was a fan of their lady athletes at the time. I was like, yeah, good lookers, not bad. I love what the sport does for you. I hate the sport itself. It's boring, very boring to me.
A lot of whistles. Same with you.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, a lot of whistles. I don't know. It's just weird. Just play lacrosse now. Just stand upright and play lacrosse at that point. Like,
Well,
what are we doing here?
I don't like.
Or get longer sticks.
I don't mind the sticks. I don't like the fact that you can't touch the ball with the back of the stick. Like, if some guy came up with or lady came up with some fanciful fucking way of manipulating the ball with the round side of the stick, God bless them.
Right? Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
that what little I know about the sport, that makes the sport that more difficult. You have to turn it in order to handle the
Yeah,
the
well,
ball.
it makes it really gay for the fucking spectator. So,
Yeah, good point.
It means very, very happy for the spectator.
It's-
no, I mean it's very
It's
gay.
not- yeah,
It
he's right.
It's terrible for the spectator. Again, a great
Yeah, not a
sport
great-
has
yeah.
to have rules that make sense for both the game and the people interpreting the game. Because
Yeah, go ahead.
what's
Sorry.
I mean, like, as far as like, we can all agree that everybody that participates in any one of these sports is a athlete that is superior to us. So put the athlete in a position to draw the most eyeballs to give a shit about the athleticism. That's where the rules come into play. And if the rules suck, the sport sucks. End of story.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
Fair enough. And I had an interesting question. A coworker of mine asked. He said, first of all, it was like, if you could go to any of these sports and watch, what would you watch? And I listed out a few, and then I said, I would go to any of them. To be honest with you, we just happened to stumble in something. He's like, like any of them? It's like, yeah, it's the Olympics. I'm in Paris. I'm putzing around. Like, yes, I would go for a half hour and watch some ping pong, aka table tennis. I would go watch some team badminton. I would go and watch some field hockey. I mean, I would. Yes, I witnessed an Olympic event. It'd be a life story.
I went to Atlanta in '96, and we went to like all the track and field stuff.
You watch Michael Johnson? That's awesome.
I did. I watched him qualify for the finals. I did not see the finals. I saw the finals and the shot put, at, like all the field events. I saw the finals for those.
Nice.
But I got to be honest with you, it was cool to see, but that was kind of boring because Wes, you participated in track. You know that a track
around, a lot of waiting,
a lot of waiting around for shit to go down.
Yeah.
And when you're watching the waiting around from the bleachers, like your eyes do get drawn to like, hey, that guy's getting ready to jump over that high thing over there. You know.
Yeah.
Then, they missed. Oh shit. Okay.
See, I had the luxury. I threw shot put and discus, and I had the luxury. It's first. It's the first thing that happens.
First couple events, yeah.
Yeah. Like there, you got like y'all assholes start running, but I don't know what you guys do. We spend like the first hour fucking throwing shot put and then discus, and then we're done. But then we just walk around for like 4 hours watching you dickheads run around. It's quite fun though.
I do think that like gymnastics, to come back to that, it probably is the most exciting thing that you could watch like live and in person though.
Yeah, gymnastics is cool.
Because, I mean, there's no denying, even, like, bad gymnasts are doing things with their bodies that you can't perform yourself. So I think anytime you're watching somebody do something that you're incapable of, it makes it that much more exciting.
I watched, I don't know, a little Korean girl or some shit, fucking on the floor routine, like, do some crazy twist thing, and then land, but then, like, fall on her butt. And I was about to be like, oh, you suck. But I was like, that shit was super cool, man. Like, you're still alive. I couldn't even make the twists, and I'd still die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if we were at a party, and I was like, hey guys, watch this, and I did like a backflip, and I also like corkscrewed like 3 times before my hit, and then I landed on my ass, and you guys weren't fucking impressed, I'd be fucking mad at you.
Right? I'd be like, dude, that was dope.
my legs didn't break in half, or my ligaments didn't tear.
I landed head up. It's a fucking win, man.
Because I haven't done this in a while, but I remember specifically being in your parents' dining room in Perryville, and Kilby challenged me to do the fucking leg jump rope, and I think I was like 35 at that point. So this is a decade ago now, and they're like, "You can't do that. I know you did it 10 years ago. You can't do it." And I did it, and the room erupted, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So
Nice.
yeah. So if I did something extra than that, then yeah, I'd be upset with you guys. So, but I mean, but you do expect perfection when you watch, you know, these guys that are getting TV time to perform this thing. I don't know though. Alan, what's the one fringe sport that you find the most exciting? Winter games seems like there's a lot of them, but summer games.
So, I'm a winter games guy personally.
Okay.
Like, I know it's not that I dislike the summer.
No,
like,
I get you.
Yeah, like, I'm only loosely tied to gymnastics. Like, I think gymnastics is cool, kind of, but not really. It's okay. It's cool because they, like you said, they're doing amazing shit. But I'm like, all right, that's cool. Next, I love the track events. Love sprints, obviously. Distance, man. Actually, like, we max out like 800. After 800, I don't give a fuck.
I like a mile, because a mile, I mean, they're under 5.
That's fair.
If a race is under 5 minutes.
That's true. A mile at this level
they're-
is fucking, 1,500, right?
They're 100 meters short of the metric mile.
Yeah. So like those are dope. I love the field events. I love watching javelin because I always, like I said, I threw shot and discus, so I always wanted to throw javelin, but it's outlawed in the state of Maryland. So like can't do that. Hammer throw's always fun. And then if you move into like there ain't really anything else. Like I'll watch some handball. What is that fucking game that's basketball but it's not basketball? Do you know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
It's got the hoop without a backboard.
Yeah.
You're not like
not
allowed
allowed
to
to
dunk
jump.
or run or do or do something.
You
Yeah,
can't
maybe
bounce the
jump.
ball.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. You can't do a fundamental basketball thing in this game. I was watching a little bit of that, and I was like, "This is both entertaining and fucking stupid." But that was pretty cool.
When the Paralympics starts, I want you guys to watch blind handball.
Ooh,
It's
I think I've seen this.
spectacular because there's a lot of clicking going on.
Yeah. I've seen this. Okay.
and it's just like throw it down. The keeper doesn't even know where they are. Just fucking throw it down.
Yeah.
It's wild to be able to watch them play defense because the offense has zero idea where they're throwing this fucker, right? I don't know. I'm actually glad that they're doing that they're trying to elevate the Paralympics as much as the Olympics, because I don't know, it's kind of fun to be like, hey, this guy's gonna play basketball, but he ain't got no legs. Like, how would I play basketball with no legs?
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty fucking amazing.
So is the Paralympics? Is that anyone with a disability?
Yeah, it's really it's
Okay,
a low,
so hold on.
it's a low bar, unfortunately.
Okay, I think a
Yeah,
lesser
that's how you get the
version of
Blade
that. Correct
Runner.
me if I'm wrong. There's a transplant games.
What do you mean?
There probably is. That makes
Athletes
sense.
who have had a organ transplant of sorts. And the reason I know this,
yes,
I worked with a female who had a heart transplant, who competed in those, and she said, "I've had a heart transplant, and I'm competing against people who have had kidney transplants. I feel like I'm a leg down. I feel as though that's they are operating almost at 100%.
Yes.
I'm gobbling down eons of fucking pills to. If I
Well,
don't take these, I'm dead.
Again, maybe they've differentiated since, but like there's a sprinter from the. Okay, never mind. Now I'm mixing into Special Olympics. There was a guy. There was a sprinter, a Special Olympian, and he just had some really bad like brain development problems. He was like, I don't want to. He was less. You know what? He was almost like Ben Stiller's character from Tropic Thunder. Like,
Okay.
was it Simple Jack? Yeah, he was Simple Jack, but he was really fast. And I'm just thinking, like, is that really a disability when it comes to running? Like, is that fair for all the other guys that are challenged in some other really developmental way? So, like, I mean, like, listen, Tyrone, see the line? Yeah. Get there quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
A couple cards short of deck. Well, I just think that Elk didn't have a runner like that. I don't know if I'm like going to deep dive into this story. Should I?
No.
Okay,
Yes,
fair enough.
No, yes. No.
Probably.
You shouldn't, but I won't be mad if you do.
Okay. This person
Anyway.
sprinted, okay?
Yes.
And about 150 meters to 175 meters is really this person's wall or their limit, okay? They ran the 100, they ran the 200. And this person never placed, never got third or whatever. It was always, but I do remember watching a 200 where the last 20 yards was a struggle, and then they got over the finish line, but did like a full on front slide through it because they just collapsed. Then got up and made this ridiculous face. And I'll end it at that. That's
Okay.
I feel guilty talking about this. You guys made me. You guys made me.
The Olympics, everyone.
Yeah, Summer Olympics. Oh.
Hallelujah.
Well, we got the legal council coming on. You all excited? Asking
it.
for a friend.
Yeah, it's been a minute, and we got some gems for him. I don't know. I just every time I send these stories, I feel like, all right, one of these gonna hit.
I know.
One of these gonna be like, I can't believe this. I'd win all the money.
really scrambling his legal brain, this wealth of knowledge. And sometimes we're the tip of the iceberg. He's like, well, no, yeah, that's dog shit. Here's why.
You can't surprise those guys, man.
Ugh. We're gonna make a living out of that.
They're tough cookies.
Anywho, stick around. Legal counsel coming on. We'll be right back.
We aren't doctors, but we'd love to take a look at some more of the middle class holes.
Welcome back to the Middle Class Holes. Foxman, Murr, and Alan. Folks, when we say we're going to do something here on the Middle Class Holes, we do it. About 30% of the time, we come through. All
Eventually.
Right? And in certain situations, you wind up in the Hall of Fame of particular sports if you hit 300, all right? We told you a few weeks ago, probably a few months ago, that we were going to get not just one of those long-time listener, first-time callers. I'm talking about one of those multiple-time participants, first-time listener, live from New York City, the Big Apple, Mr. Adam Calvert. Welcome back.
Pleasure to be here, fellas. Always.
We call him high energy Calvert in these parts.
Yeah.
I do have to say this. Look,
you guys would record a little earlier in the day. I would be,
okay,
you guys I'd be much more caffeinated than I am right now.
Like our cherished president, he's sundowning right now, so we'll have to really ramp up the energy for him. Here's a fun fact about Mr. Calvert is, let's see, I started on the radio in the year 2005, got my first solo gig in 2006, and Calvert has been coming on in some form or another to do a legal segment of some kind of another since the year 2006. So he and I mean, we're celebrating fucking 15 years now. That's amazing.
Wow, we're almost up to 20. Wow.
Almost up to 20, I was going to say.
One of these years, I'm going to make it. I am going to make it. I'm going to have to be able to stop practicing law and just bullshit with you guys all day about this stuff.
Well, I hope I make it first. But this is Asking for a Friend. We've sent Mr. Calvert several legal news stories. We're going to read through them, get his opinion. I think today, Adam, I want to do more of what percentage would you consider yourself on the case? So if you got this case handed to you and they said, you want it or not, 0 to 100%, I would take this case because I think I could get something out of it. You don't have to squeeze all the nectar out of it. You just got to come out on the positive end. And we're going to start with
Hold on. I think there's got to come a little bit of suspending belief here because this isn't Adams. These aren't Adams. This is his wheelhouse of law, right?
Sure. No, it's not his wheelhouse of law, but he is more of an attorney than any of us will ever be. And so just, through osmosis.
Give me another 20. You'll be asking me.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, don't think, you correct me if I'm wrong, Calvert, but don't you guys just get kind of let's call it a liberal arts of law and kind of a general overview. And then you get some on-the-job training. You get some OTJ, you fucking get in there, solve some murder cases maybe. I don't know. Depends on what your specialty is. But I think he can handle most general legal questions. Yeah. We're not really, he doesn't need to be in his wheelhouse. Yeah, you're welcome.
My wheelhouse is huge, by the way.
Yeah.
But you are right, Alan. You learn everything in law school, and then you basically learn how to be a lawyer when you're actually practicing. But for one of the first, I'm not going to say one of the first times, but 2 out of 3 of these are very much what I do.
Ooh.
So you might actually get a correct opinion
What do you do, actually? Can I ask that?
It's a long story, and it's very boring, Alan. But,
I'm already low energy enough, apparently, so this would just completely comatose your entire audience.
Look, his job allows him to take his big penis putter out and have a good weekend every now and again, okay? So
I like it.
And that is a literal statement that I just made. But let's get to this first story. It has to do with the lottery. It has to do with a Powerball, quote-unquote, winner, and it's out of Washington, D.C., where a man is suing Powerball and the D.C. lottery for refusing to pay him a $340 million prize from last year. Now, the number claims that the digits on the lottery ticket popped up on the D.C. Lottery's website. John Cheeks bought a Powerball ticket January 6th, 2023, using a personal number combination, yada, yada, yada. He says he's not a regular player. He did go onto the website. He checked it and thought, oh, my God. I got excited. I didn't scream or anything. I just politely called a friend, took a picture as was recommended, then I went to sleep. But the numbers posted on the DC Lottery website were not the same as those that were apparently pulled during the Powerball drawing on January the 7th. His lawsuit claims that his numbers remained on the DC ticket website for 3 days, and the size of the Powerball prize at that time was $340 million. Now, the story goes on, but I'm going to turn it over to our legal counsel. Okay, let's go back to the original parameters. Would you take this case? Could he win the full $340 million? If not, I doubt it. Can he walk away with any money at all whatsoever? And what would your argument be?
So no, I would not take this case. I mean, the whole idea that you would win the lotto just because somebody made a typo, I mean, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, the numbers that are called, that's the numbers. Okay, I don't care if a newspaper misprints them or, the person who's pulling the balls out, they get a 6 and they turn it upside down and say 9. Just because they say 9 doesn't make it 9, right? So
Sure. But I would argue that since it was on the lottery's official site, and I mean, come on, when they turn that vacuum cleaner on and the ping pong ball pops out, like, is anybody ever really present? I don't think I've ever, stayed up to, 10:59 on my local news to see if fucking my balls got yanked. Hopefully I'm yanking my own balls at 10:59. So I'm going to check the site the next day. It stayed up for 3 days. The reason I think this guy should get at least some kind of money is I can't imagine the emotional excitement that's going through my body when for 3 days I'm preparing myself for this journey to the lottery office. I maybe have taken a day off of work. I've started a financial planner. I'm like, all right, here we go. Because what are you going to go? How are you going to go back and find the video? Doesn't the lottery office then have to show you the proof of pulling?
okay, I mean, that's not that hard to. The numbers are. Nobody's disputing what the actual numbers that were pulled are. Even this guy, he's just saying, well, you messed up, so now these are the numbers. It makes no sense. I mean, the attorney was talking about an Iowa case too, and so this is why I say this is, well, I'm going to say 2 reasons why I say this is complete trash. The attorney for this guy was talking about, oh, they did this in Iowa, and yeah, that's precedent. Well, 1, that's Iowa, so fuck what they do out in Iowa. But 2, by the way, a 5-second Google search of this showed that the most that got paid out for that mistake was $200. So it's a little different than $360 million.
Sure, I get that. I get he's not going to get the full amount, but could we bang out $1 million for this guy? I mean, just
'cause
something.
as soon as you do this, then it just opens the floodgates to, well, okay, there could be corruption, and okay, you get somebody on the inside of that. Well, the people that posted this were a contractor company that was hired to do this. You get somebody on the inside there, they post the wrong numbers for you. Oops, I made a mistake, and then but you know what? The guy, my buddy, he had that ticket for my mistake numbers that I posted. Right? There's just all sorts of fraud that could happen here, and just open the floodgates to any jerk who's going to find some sort of mistake and then lawsuit. Really, you need more lawsuits?
Okay, you're making fair points. I'm not going to dig my heels in too hard on this one, but I do get a little frustrated. This one doesn't frustrate me as much as when somebody wins $1 million on a slot machine and then it's like, well, I'm sorry, the machine was malfunctioning that day, and I apologize, but you don't win shit. That one has always flustered me, and this one kind of flusters me too, because if you are look, bottom line is with lotteries, I mean, at the end of a month, how much money is exchanged hands? Billions of dollars? Billions of dollars have gone to and through the system. You should get it right. I guess that's my point. Sue the contractor. Contractor has to pay the lottery. The lottery has to pay the guy something. And then no more fuck-ups. That's how you solve fuck-ups. You financially cripple the institution who fucked up.
Now, all right, Wes, Alan, I'm interested to get your perspective on this, because the other reason I say it's complete BS is this guy says that he saw it and he saw it was the numbers and he took a picture of it, right? And then went to bed. Nobody does that, right? I mean, so he must know it's bullshit, right? He knew. That's why he took a picture, and that's why he went to bed. Because if you thought it was legit, are you going to bed? What are you two doing? If you thought you won $360 million, I don't care how.
I'm jerking off then going to bed.
I'm going to get on Amazon and I'm going to order just something made out of gold. I don't care what it is. I might even get gold plated with gold.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. That's good thinking.
Probably call my lawyer and then call my financial advisor and tell
I was
him
going
to
to say.
dump all your other clients. You got a whale. Not this pussy shit you've been dealing
Listen,
with.
man,
Not this
you're
Roth
set.
IRA bullshit.
You're
I would
set.
like to-
I need you to start laundering some stuff.
That's right.
How do you feel about that?
First, what was the guy's last name?
Cooks, I believe.
Wait a minute. I thought it was something because Alan
Cheeks.
started chuckling.
Oh,
Cheeks.
Cheeks. I started giggling. Mr.
Alan
Cheeks.
couldn't help himself. See, in my perspective is I'm already writing the movie on this. The guy goes in the next day to work and quits and pulls his dick out to his boss and says like, "How you like that? It's $1 billion dick. Ha ha. Fuck you." And I'm like, oh, man, sorry. Turns out,
What if
Mr.
you?
Cheeks, we made
I think
a
you
mistake.
missed a golden
and
opportunity to
You're
sit in
unemployed.
some gum.
That's a much better lawsuit. That's a much better lawsuit, by the way. Like,
Okay.
You detrimentally relied on their posting, and you did something like, "Oh, I bought a jet," I quit my job, whatever. That's a much better lawsuit than this guy's got. Right now.
Ooh, okay.
Or shit.
Okay.
Fuck you. It's only a good argument when Wes makes it. Kiss my balls. Jesus Christ. That's what I'm saying. Is this guy has he owed something. I like where Wes he actually took it to something a little more concrete and
No, but
structural.
You need something tangible, right? Like he lost his job. Not just, oh, I was so excited and now I'm let down. That's not.
Okay.
That's not
Sad.
worth anything.
Okay, let's say Mr. Cheeks doesn't take a Quaalude, grab a snapshot of the ticket, and then fall asleep. He goes into work. He starts helicoptering, fucking with his cheeks showing, telling his boss like, "I'll give you something to clock in. Swipe right here, motherfucker." And then he gets canned. Could he at least sue for a 1 year's paycheck because they inadvertently triggered a response that he was detrimental to his life?
The real answer to that question would put your listeners to sleep, but I'll say it's a much better case than this guy's got.
Okay, all right, fair enough. God damn it! I just want to see somebody. I like these stories, but man, you always disappoint me. Like nobody wins. It's because I always pick stories that I want the person to win.
Yeah, but you also pick like, it's the fucking lottery, bro. The lottery's legally like ironclad. They got that shit locked up. They've been doing this a long time. Like, am I wrong, Calvert? Like, you ain't suing the lottery easily and getting some money. Like, or at least large sums of money.
But see, that's why I want somebody to win a large sum of money from the lottery, because that's exactly what the lottery is. It's just a big fucking enterprise. It's like, hey, we got lots of money we're gonna give to one person. And so, like, really, this is a victimless crime. Like, all I'm out's like my $2. Like, this guy, hey, again, he didn't do anything. This is like the calmest fucking victim that's ever existed. Like, well, I decided I would just take a picture of the ticket because I was in disbelief.
Yeah,
and then I
there's
woke
no
up
way.
and they told me it was not a winning ticket. Oopsie. Like, but he did call a lawyer, so.
Sounds like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, you gotta
That's
call.
fine.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders showed up.
Fuck you. Okay, let's get to
No,
this
it sounds
next
like
one.
when you say like we're going to sue the lottery, you bring that to your lawyer. Like I want to sue the lottery.
Hey man, I want to see the
Who?
lottery.
Anybody, the lottery.
You mean like the state? This is gonna be great. This is
Something.
gonna
I don't
be
even know
fun.
if it's the state necessarily. It's just some bureaucracy where a bunch of people stand around and come up with clever fucking, I don't know, like little logos to put on tinfoil to wax onto your fucking $10 scratch off. That's all they do. They just sit around like, yeah, we're in Maryland. You guys want to do I don't know. Hey, let's do the crab cake conundrum, and you'll scratch. You don't have to. It doesn't matter. There's no game to the fucking lottery ticket.
Man. I also last thing before you get on to the next case. You said he took, what is it, in your hypothetical situation, he took a Quaalude. I would like to know where Mr. Cheeks is hoarding Quaaludes that don't exist anymore. He's just been keeping one in a mason jar for safekeeping for a situation like this.
Hey,
maybe
you wanna
I'll die or maybe I'll win the lottery. Whatever comes first.
Look, you win a pretend $340 million, you can call the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, do you have any ludes? What?
Called his good friend Bill. Anyway, let's get to this one. Now, you guys are golfers. You guys get out. I know there's been shenanigans in the past that have involved golf. I think golf pretty much, even at our older ages professionally, still involve plenty of shenanigans. This comes out of Lansing, a lawsuit from a man who crashed his golf cart while descending a steep hill at the popular Treetops Resort has failed to make the cut before the Michigan Court of Appeals. Matthew Burchard sued for gross negligence after he lost control of his golf cart in 2019 while going down a steep hill on the third hole at Treetops, one of several courses at the popular blah, 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 blah. He was ejected from the cart, which flipped and landed on him. Good Lord. The three-judge panel upheld a lower court's ruling dismissing the lawsuit, saying that Burchard had been warned about how to carefully maneuver the hills and had signed a golf cart rental agreement that acknowledged potential dangers and waived all liability for the owners of the resort. Quote, even if plaintiff did not read the release before signing it, his failure to do so would not warrant rescission of the release. So before I read any further, why don't you explain to the peoples in the layman's terms, like what happened, what he was suing for, and why he ain't winning.
Okay, so he's saying that the golf cart or the golf course should have warned him about the slope or not allowed them to drive on it because it was so steep. The golf course is saying, well, you signed a waiver that says you relinquish us of all liability for any sort of accident that might happen from using the carts from the course. You acknowledge that golf is a potentially hazardous sport, etc. And the starter had warned them about the hill and told him not what to do. The guy had signed the waiver. There were signs on the cart path warning them about the slope. So the court is saying you signed this waiver, and the waiver law sort of varies between states, but the general principle is that, like, you sign the waiver, and sometimes courts will just throw the case out depending on the state. Some courts will throw the waiver out, like New York. Some courts will say, well, if the place is negligent, they're not liable, but if they're grossly negligent, then they are. And that's what's going on here. Like, there was an expert here that said that the slope of the path was too steep, and it actually they brought up the guidelines from the was it the golf cart company Easy Go or whatever, and it was too steep. But just being too steep is negligent. It's not grossly negligent, which you have to prove if you sign a waiver.
Well, that's why I stopped when I did, because he says that I applied the brakes. The brakes didn't slow the golf cart down, so I applied the brakes harder. Golf cart still didn't slow down. Then I put all my body weight on the brake pedal, and the golf cart still did not slow down. And I remember a sharp left turn coming up, and I remember waking up in the hospital a few days later. Now, I'm usually on the side of, like, the property. Like, look, you signed the waiver, you knew what you were getting yourself into, but this is golf. And you can claim that, like, well, if you follow the proper safety guidelines, everything's going to be A-okay. Well, sometimes it's not. And it sounds like if you apply, like, every ounce of your physical force, like, to the thing that's supposed to stop you, and then it doesn't.
But that's exactly what they told him not to do. They said,
what,
don't
step
slam
on the brake?
Don't slam on the brake on the hill.
That just sounds like a terrible cart path that shouldn't exist.
Well, that's what, Easy Go, well, the largest, I think, golf cart manufacturer in the country, has standards that says that the grade should not be more than 25%. And the grade at that course was 35%. But that's just negligent. That's not grossly negligent. And other people had accidents on that hill. But on the flip side, he was warned about how not to operate the golf cart, and he failed to use those warnings. There were signs. He signed a waiver. Like,
there's a multi-layered process of him being like, I'm not going to fuck it up. And then he fucked it up.
Mm-hmm. This is the dice you roll when you play at treacherous hills in Lansing, Michigan.
By the way, I mean, I did read the Supreme Court opinion on this, and I mean, I mean, it's tricky. What are you going to do? You want to not have a golf course? I mean, you can't get rid of it. I mean, you can get rid of a hill somewhat, but I mean, it's part of the golf course, right? And the hole doesn't look as good.
Well, I think that you would do, unfortunately, for the golf cart or the golf course company, like maybe you install like a rail system that the golf cart actually like sits on, and then kind of almost like one of those old people like staircase climbers, like
Yep.
takes
A mil- a
takes the
million
golf
dollar-
cart down.
$1 million
Or
reverse ski lift. Got
or
it.
I guess
Okay.
you grade it out so that it slopes down and
Switchbacks, something.
Right.
But I mean, I would just say this, like, as far as like signing a waiver and then saying like, do you understand like how you're supposed to operate this golf cart? Sure, but I'm pretty sure like when I go to Hershey Park, when I buy the tickets, there's a built-in like clause that says like roller coasters can be dangerous. Well, I don't expect the roller coaster to fly off the track. So I can only like say like I will follow all safety procedures. I will strap myself in. I will allow the attendant to come touch my penis while he lifts up on the bar to see if it's locked in place, and then that's it. I can only do what I can do. At some point, if the property owner is negligent, that even the safety protocols put in place do not work, I just feel like, yeah, you should be awarded at least your hospital bill for a fucking 700-pound vehicle toppling over you when you've done everything that a normal person would assume to do, which is, oh, I'm going too fast. I should apply the brake. Oh no, the brake doesn't work. Oh no, what do I do? Die. And that's it. I don't know. I just feel like you've signed your life away just because you've signed a liability release.
I think, Murr, I think the fundamental problem here is that you think that the law is meant to protect the individual man like you and I. It is indeed not. It is designed to protect the corporations that are all corporation-y and fucking don't want to pay you when you kill yourself on one of their death machines. Or the golf course that doesn't want to fix the hill that it uses said death machines on.
Well, you know what? I appreciate the philosophizing on the law, Alan. That was actually pretty deep there and correct.
Yeah, man.
But you know, it's funny you bring it up because I mean that so much varies state to state. You look at New York.
Makes sense.
The plaintiff's bar here has a lot of influence, right? And all these laws here are very plaintiff friendly. But then, as you'll see in the next story we're going to do, there was a 4-3 decision, Republicans versus Democrats, and you'll see they side with the corporation, right? So, to your point.
There you go.
What was my point? Oh, I forgot to ask you this. Without knowing the outcome of this story, would you have taken this if it was passed along your desk? Like, hey, we got this guy got toppled by a golf cart. What do you think?
Well, it not only came across my desk, but it actually happened to me. So
It was Adam was a victim in a similar crime.
And you know what? I had a much better case than this guy, by the way. And he made it all the way to the Michigan Supreme Court. I don't know what the Delaware laws are like, which is where my accident happened. But let me just say, I did not sign any waiver. Nobody warned me about the hill. There was no sign on the hill. And next time I'm there, I'm going to bring a level to figure out what the grade of that hill is. Just for my own, because now I know what the standard grade on a golf cart slope must be from reading this stupid opinion for tonight. So while the statute of limitations is run on my accident, I am genuinely curious. Now, on the other hand, I was going the opposite direction because I went up to a tee box and then went back to the last hole. So it was only intended to be driven uphill, but I think you should expect that people might go the wrong direction on a golf course. They forget a club, you got an outing, right?
Sure.
That's a good point.
And to give you all some context, Adam was actually winning, and we were so far into the round, it would have taken a monumental landslide for him to lose, literally. And he hopped out of the golf cart, hobbling. I think I'm okay. I think I feel all right. And we look at this gouge in his ankle. Like, nope, you ain't okay, bro.
Oh man, I was gonna say what happened. I don't know this story.
So I went up to a tee box and then to get something from Wes, and I turned back around to go back to my group, and I went back down the slope, and it was like a sort of like a curve at the top and then sloped down. And I was at the top, and I turned the cart, went down the slope, sort of just kind of hit a bump. There's nobody else in the cart with me, so all my weight was to the left. Like hit the bump, and something jerked, and then it just like toppled. Like I was already kind of like leaning a bit out, and then it bumped. And so anyway, so it fell over, and the part where your feet, the floorboard, the side of that tipped over onto my ankle, and then dragged me down the slope on the concrete for a bit. So we got up, threw the cart off of me. I was just like completely scraped up on my legs and my arms, but then on my ankle there was like sort of like if you took an ice cream scoop and scooped the piece out.
That's what I needed. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think we were in like between 14 and 15, so you figure four holes to play.
No, it was on the 11th hole, but
11th hole. Okay,
but because of the
that's right. Yeah,
format
we
and
have a
because
little
of
ways to go with that.
I still say I could have won that golf tournament if people had not insisted that I go to the hospital.
We weren't telling you to go to the hospital in fear of losing. We were telling you to the hospital. You're my friend. Although there was icing on the cake, but he ain't winning. It's wide open here. Yeah, he got dinged up pretty good.
I think only like half the people that started that tournament actually made it through. Not because they all got injured, but just like various people left and things like that. It was, I don't know, kind of just fell apart.
Well, there's been plenty of Cecil County golf cart adventures. I mean, how did we all know? This kind of comes back to remember we talked about things in the zeitgeist before the internet that we all knew, like rumors. How did everyone know how to get rid of the governor on like every golf cart in Cecil County from the time we were in high school all the way through?
I don't know. I think because they were all gas back in the day, and it was sort of like a similar. There was only, I think, really two ways, like two systems that they had. One was that bar that went across, right, and you either bent that or you could just take it completely off, right.
And there was another one with the golf tee you shove in there.
Yeah, exactly. So there's only really two things you needed to know. And I think it worked for pretty much any golf cart.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing, like, how many folks our age knew, like, as soon as you got your golf cart, like, pop the seat off. We got to do a little maintenance here real quick.
Bite a tee halfway down, fucking pop it in there.
Wes had a good one on our golf trip last week with the little... the GPS, you disabled the GPS thing so that you could drive off the cart path.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was raining. It was cart path only. And we saw this on TikTok, but there was like a method where you could do the touchscreen.
Yeah.
Put your cart in Ranger mode. The problem with that is it didn't get you. It was two problems. The main one was you didn't have distances anymore. It was just an outlook of the golf course and where all the carts were. Yeah. So you had to rely on it takes away the benefit of digital GPS. And two, if you're out on there on the fairway and the Ranger does happen to drive by, you're kind of fucked.
Which he did.
Which he did. Yeah, he did. He hawked us for about a hole or two.
I got to say, Alan, you may not know this, but us Cecil Countyans are kind of known locally as a menace. I remember when I did go to the University of Maryland, like, somebody ran into somebody. I just overheard this conversation, like, "Yeah, where are you from?" It's like, there's like 15 of you fuckers here. How the fuck are you? And you're all maniacs. And it's true. Like, we were all fucking like just party animal assholes. And we swarmed like locusts to like a location. And just all these stories that we have, I'm wondering if there's something in the water here where we're all just a bunch of degenerates. Slightly above average intelligence degenerates that show up at all occasions.
Yeah, man, you guys are all the way up there by yourselves, being all fucking weird and shit. Yeah, no, I mean it's the same. It's the same for us. Like there's like fucking 87 of them in the fucking fraternity. It's like, why are you all from fucking Cecil County? I don't understand it. Like, I don't. Why is the whole fraternity from Cecil County?
Hey, we're the home team. We travel well. All right. And finally, let's get to this bad boy. Now, I guess I misunderstood or misinterpreted what this was before I sent it. I've only read the first sentence, so let's get to this, especially all you chicken wing lovers out there. Republicans on the Ohio Supreme Court ruled that bones are a natural part of chicken, so a consumer should be on guard for them, even in boneless wings. Just because you order boneless chicken wings at a restaurant does not mean you shouldn't expect to find bones, the Ohio Supreme Court said in a 4-3 ruling on Thursday. In a divided decisions, Republicans on the Ohio Supreme Court ruled that bones are a natural part of the chicken, so the consumer should be on guard for them. Quote, there is no breach of duty when the consumer could have reasonably expected and guarded against the presence of the injurious substance in the food. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to let Adam kind of take over. So why did this make it all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court? I can see myself, it's not just because of the Republican thing, I can see myself dickishly digging my heels in saying like, you're saying boneless chicken wing. What if there's a ground up bone that made it through the processor? You should expect that chickens have bones and bones might end up in your chicken. It's 1 for 2 and 2 for 1. How did this get all the way there, and what was the actual reasoning for it being a court case?
Well, I don't know how they ruled like they did. I mean, we've done a lot of stories on this show, and through the past 20 years, Mur, through your show. And I gotta say, this one really, really pisses me off. You know?
It should. I'm actually siding. Listen, it pisses me off so much. I'm siding with the Democrats on this. I will go on record. I'm going to go against my own party. I'm going to say, if you have fucking in the title said boneless,
Yeah.
It's in the fucking title. They should be. There should not be. There shouldn't even be a fragment of a bone in a boneless chicken wing.
I actually read this opinion on the subway on the way home today, and their logic was just ridiculous. I mean, Alan, you know what you were talking about, protecting the interests, protecting big chicken. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, big chicken,
Protecting
man.
Big chicken. They are making these arguments like, all right, well, so the whole. All right, let me back up a second. The whole thing you got to show is that somebody would not reasonably expect there to be bones in there because of it says boneless chicken wings, right? So would a reasonable person expect there to be no bones? What would you guys say?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
I
would
would.
think so, right?
I would. I would not be shocked if I took a bite down and there was something like it hit my molars and I was a little perturbed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I'd call the waiter over and be like, hey, guess what this is? This is a bone in my boneless wing. And then I would expect my bill to be comped in some capacity.
Well, this guy got it lodged in his throat and had 2 surgeries because of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay. So at that point, you a little more upset about that bone in there, Murr?
Yeah.
slightly more, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Also, what is he just swallowing fucking boneless wings?
That's a good point, too.
Yeah.
Just fucking Christ. I get it.
I mean,
A reasonable person would bite and chew. They don't gobble it down.
It's true. It's
I
true.
think you could take a big enough bite so that a bone fragment that's like, like that big could get lodged in your throat. Right? That's a big enough bite. Right?
It's reasonable.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, the thing that really got me was that the court said, so I just asked you all, would a reasonable person expect there to be no bones in a boneless chicken wing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the court
Sure.
said, we're not even going to let a jury decide that. We're deciding as a matter of law that a reasonable person would not expect there to be bones in boneless chicken wings. That to me is just like such judicial overreach, right? Like, we're just going to decide what everybody would think when clearly all 4 of us are very much in agreement that a reasonable person would not decide that way.
Here's
Yeah.
here's a little bit of reason for you. Just a couple of like examples, and I'll get regional with you. A crab cake. Occasionally, you'll get a spackle of a shell in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. A fillet of fish that is deemed boneless. Okay. The chef or whoever's prepared it has used the nippers and pulled out every rib from that. Occasionally, a rib is still lodged in there. Yeah.
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 All right.
But-
When I order boneless chicken wings dipped in fucking whatever sauce that you like,
Parmesan garlic.
Parmesan garlic, spicy buffalo, teriyaki.
Actually, I like the Asian zing, if I'm being perfectly honest, only because Buffalo Wild Wings refuses to change the name, and it's slightly offensive. Continue.
Dude, Buffalo Wild Wings also has a front and back of ingredients and mismatches and sauces that you can put in there. Yeah. I'm probably two or three beers deep when that sucker gets fucking plated in front of me, and the first thing I do is jam a fork in there and gulp, Joey Chestnut that puppy down the old gullet. I am not expecting a bone of any variety, and no matter how small it may be, owl pellet sized, whatever. No, that's not reasonable.
Yeah. Because like I purposely do it that way. I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like doing all that work today. Let me just get this nugget of chicken covered in sauce.
Right. I mean, what am I doing with this bone anyway?
Yeah.
So, I read the opinion, and like the court was making some really, really funny points in my opinion. So they were saying, well, you don't expect it to be boneless because boneless is you said. One, you don't think that they're actually wings because they are boneless, right? They're not actually chicken wings. So they're like, oh, well, the name doesn't mean anything because you already know that it's not a wing. So why do you believe anything that's in the title, like boneless? I mean, that's a pretty big stretch, right?
Yeah.
So on top of that, they say that boneless is the cooking method and that it is not a descriptive title, which I don't know how they actually make boneless wings. I mean, I assume they gotta get the bone out of there somehow. But
Well, it's chicken breast. Technically, is what it's supposed to be, which tells me that they went a little far away from the tete to make these. And I would argue that it's not a cooking preparation; it's a preparation that actually makes the boneless part of the wing. So I would expect in the preparation process for the bones to be strategically removed. Otherwise, you are miscategorizing what the fucking thing is. You can't call it boneless if it's got... Because like I said, I would reasonably expect, like I said, a sand-sized nugget of bone to be in a boneless chicken wing. Because like they do say, chickens have bones. Reasonable people expect chickens to have bones. Yeah, there could be a bone fragment in there. But not like you're saying, a piece that can get lodged in the throat, like me... at midnight after a hard night of drinking with a Dorito and swallowed too soon that then lacerates my larynx, because that's happened before. No, I would not expect that. But no, that's part of the preparation process, and it's not a cooking style; it's a preparation style. Sorry, that was long-winded.
You know what? It's what the restaurant receives from a food distributor. They don't get those fuckers bone in and be like, hey, Timmy, get off the dishes, get in here, pull all these bones out. We got to fry these fuckers boneless style. Well, and I would say a reasonable person also, at least myself, I don't think about the satanic shit that's happened to the baby calf when I order a veal parm. Mm-hmm. Reasonably.
So, by the way, and just to further stretch this point, so they said that people realize that boneless wings are not actually wings, just like they realize that chicken fingers are not actually fingers.
Jesus Christ. Dumb fuck. They're shaped like fingers, you motherfuckers. I just feel like I'm surprised this is out of Ohio because a lot of the verbiage sounds very like Old South. I do want to read this quote up.
I mean, Ohio's pretty backwards at the moment.
A diner reading boneless wings on a menu would no more believe that the restaurant was warranting the absence of bones in the items than they believed that the items were made from chicken wings. Just as a person eating chicken fingers would know that there had not been served fingers. The food items label on the menu described a cooking style. It was not guaranteed. But Donnelly called that utterly jabberwocky.
Is that your Ohio accent?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This doesn't sound like it's out of Ohio. This sounds like it's out of like 1895 Alabama.
Yeah, like straight out of New Orleans or something.
I would like to give like a judge like a whole chicken and be like, here, man, cook that into a boneless nugget for me, please. just through cooking methods, please. Please. Teach us how this you cook this into this. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
So all right, so I'm going to posit something to you guys then. What about if I put, nut-free brownies on my menu and somebody who's got a nut allergy orders them? Oh, well, I didn't mean it didn't have any nuts in it.
Okay, well.
That's a cooking preparation method, not what's actually in the brownie. Sorry you died from eating that.
Well, you came to a restaurant where there's multiple food items, so you have to assume that some food items are going to make their way into your food.
But that's also exactly why you would come in and they literally say, tell your server about food allergies. So, okay, well, let's get back to where I failed as a host in this segment. Would you have taken this case at face value previous to knowing?
Yeah.
And so you would have lost this case?
Yeah, I would have. I would have taken it all the way up there. I'd be going to the U.S. Supreme Court right now if I was this guy. This
Now,
is
hold on.
bullshit.
What would you have done if you're standing there and the judge says Jabberwocky?
At that point, I know I'm fucked. I got a bunch of idiots out there.
I don't like.
What does that mean?
I've heard
we're
the
fucked.
I've heard the word jabber. I've heard the word walkie, but I've never heard the word jabberwocky. I don't even know how that's used in. I couldn't even use that in a
It's from
sentence.
Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Is it? Wow.
So it's this fucking story where they pretend that boneless chicken wings have fucking bones. Jesus H. Christ. So is there any recourse for this person? Are they going to be able to appeal this? Is it
No,
done?
this was all the way up to the highest court in Ohio.
So, okay, we've established now that boneless chicken wings aren't necessarily boneless, and that if you encounter a natural grading of land, you should expect to just die on your own accord with no fucking recourse by law. And if some gambling agency fucks up and accidentally gives you a victory, you should expect no payment in return.
Yeah.
What a fucking wonderful world we live in.
We should have picked a story where the good guy won in one of these.
Oh, that's not fun.
That would be Jabberwocky.
Utterly Jabberwocky.
I'm going to try to work that into an oral argument here in my future.
Oh,
I'll do it on a case it doesn't really matter very much.
Somebody's laughing.
get to a case where it doesn't really matter and the outcome is absolute, and just get indignant about it. Like his claim that a shined up waxed floor is not slippery, that's just utterly Jabberwocky. You should be ashamed of yourself for even hearing this case. And then start talking like a Southern colonel, and then hand them all boneless chicken wings with bones.
Dude, somebody's laughing at you. Like either the judge or opposing counsel. Like they're like, really? Somebody's gonna have to look the word up. Be like, damn, I don't even know what that means.
Or the opposing counsel might be like, damn, look at
This guy's good.
My man knows his Alice in Wonderland. Shit.
He said utterly Jabberwocky. You got anything else? Because we're fucked. We're fucking cooked.
Client looks at the opposing counsel. He's like, dude, why aren't you talking like that? That's why we're losing.
I gotta call up my cousin. His name's Vinny.
Giving you $200 an hour. He said Jabberwocky. What have you said? Okay. Well, that's that. That is asking for a friend, Mr. Calvert. Is there anything that you would like to plug or promote? I know you don't have a website or any. You're a professional, unlike us, so there's really not much. But what would you like to say?
No, I got enough clients. I'm too busy.
That's really nice.
So
Jesus.
good. I'm such a
too
great
busy
lawyer.
being
I would have won this chicken bone case.
I bet you would have. I bet you would have. And listen, if you ever just fucking finally turn it in and, decide you want to start your own practice, Perry Mason style, I know nothing about the law. Please allow me to deliver. I don't have to write the script, but just let me deliver oral arguments. I will work utterly Jabberwocky into every case you have.
I think what we need, Alan, you could probably concur with this. Later on, if you're still practicing down the road and still doing this dumb segment with us, we should send you Barry Glazer ads. From this,
I was gonna
attorney
say
here in Baltimore.
That's actually exactly what I was gonna say when Murray was through. Was like, yeah, bro, we don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. You know what I mean? That kind of ambulance chasing. Whenever you're ready.
That's what I'm on the other side of the ambulance chasers.
I'll be a paralegal for you. Just do some stuff. I don't even know what they do. Paralegal stuff.
Yeah. You know, like the next illegal, the para side.
Yeah, the para side of the legal. Yeah, that's where I was going with that. That's how I hope you interpreted that.
I don't know what para means, but like what the Greek.
Well,
root
there's
is
two
on
of us.
that.
There's going to be two of us on the payroll, and Alan and I will split the jobs.
There you go.
Paralegal.
It'd be
There
like,
you go.
be like
It could be
Charlie
slightly
and Mac,
X-File-y.
they had the same job, and you just had to pay one.
That's right.
Yes.
At the law firm, yeah.
The paralegal, it could be slightly X-File-y, like paranormal. You know?
Ooh, I like it. I was definitely touched inappropriately by that ghost.
Did you sign a waiver before he touched you?
No, but I
Couldn't
did
tell.
enjoy it.
He was eating ghost wings. Couldn't tell if they were boneless or not.
Couldn't tell if they were boneless.
Wait, if there were ghost wings, you could see through them. Objection.
The expectation of bone remains.
That's right. All right, Murr, listen.
Yeah.
We have facts, and they're fun, and it's Friday, and some of those facts might make you say, OMG.
Well, let's get to them then. Our OMG facts. Your Fun Fact Friday, of course, brought to you by our great friend over on the Instagram, Mr. Calvert. Are you aware of the Cuckster?
Well, he's the only person I follow on Instagram.
He's the only person anyone should follow on Instagram.
I actually think that's true, by the way. I don't really use Instagram, but I was curious about the Cuckster, and I think I might have accidentally clicked follow, which probably makes me, I don't know if other people can see that. I should probably stop. I should probably stop following him, right?
Well,
I'm going to do that while you get on with the segment.
No
Well-
to the stop following. Yes, people can see that.
well, if you're
I
bi,
really don't know how Instagram works, by the way. Sorry.
well, if you're bi or curious, you should follow the Cuckster as well. You can find him, the Cuckster, for life on Instagram. Wes, he's wrapping up his North American tour here soon.
Two following, middle class holes and the Cuckster. That's it. That's it. Only two.
That's the two
Super
best
fan. He's a super fan.
Is
That's
super
the two best
fan.
follows on the fucking gram.
Oh.
Where is Cuckster this week as he makes his way across the dirtiest parts of America?
The Cuckster is this week in Wheeling, West Virginia. He just made a pit stop in a great Rust Belt town. As a matter of fact, he didn't go to the game, but that town has a minor league hockey team known as the Wheeling Nailers. So, so if you're ever in Wheeling, take a peek. I think Flint, Michigan is where he'll be at next week. And then 2 more cities after that. And we're wrapping up the tour.
All right, check him out, Cuckster for life on Instagram. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. OMG facts! Did you know Hawaii moves 4 inches towards Japan every year, where one day it will have its revenge? Sorry.
So it
I
moves
didn't know.
just below the average male boner towards Japan. Actually, the average Japan boner towards them every year. All right.
That's right.
Okay. Huh.
Just all that erupting.
So I wonder if it's like, do you think that like at some point once it gets closer, any of the islands will shift?
Yes.
I mean, I know that.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Absolutely.
get that it's not moving as one landmass, but I'm talking about like, do you think some of them will like, stray course much further south or north once they get closer to
You
Japan?
talking about like Hawaii, the Hawaiian
Yeah.
Islands? Yeah, I mean, well, Hawaii's got like a new island that apparently is starting to butt up there towards the north end. But yeah, the tectonic plates, they'll come in. I mean, look, when we're long gone, like shit's gonna look a lot different. And it's just nature. I mean, but that's what's wild about Hawaii. Like I don't know the exact statistic in front of me. I think they get a mile of new land like every year. That's just. I mean, why is shit so expensive? Here you go, Calvert, as our attorney, we should start a company that buys land futures in Hawaii. Come on.
It's not a bad
Not
idea.
coastal front, but coast property.
Well, we allow you to purchase, like, for your family, whatever, like a geographic grid of land that's not sprung up from the ocean yet. However, when it does, you own those coordinates when they are in fact available.
We'll get Alan to pose as a native Hawaiian, and we'll say it's his ancestral homeland. He's entitled to it.
Fuck yeah. Have you seen this head of hair? I could pass. Yeah, I could definitely make this happen.
Well, there's have you guys heard this thing? I can't even plug them, but in Scotland, if you own any land at all, you're considered a lord or a lady. And so they sell these 1 foot by 1 foot patches of land, and it's kind of like that fucking stupid star chart thing. You can
Buy your lover a star.
you can buy yourself a 1 foot by 1 foot plot of land, and that officially makes you a Scottish lord. And I'm just thinking, like, one day people are gonna cash in on this, right? Like at some point, like somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, I want my plot."
Yeah, right. And I want my
Yeah, I
seat.
mean,
I'm
probably.
gonna want my seat in the House of Lords, and I want to meet the Queen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All this shit.
But nobody calls them on it because they're not dick fucks like us, and they just assume, "Oh, it's a whimsical plaque I can hang on my wall." There's got to be some legitimacy behind it, because I know there was the guy that was selling like land on the moon, and he got fucking like raked over the coals by Uncle Sam a couple years ago. Like, nope, this shit ain't legit. Fuck you. It's international property. You can't sell that shit.
Well, maybe you've talked yourself out of this business venture that you have about selling fake future land that may or may not appear.
Look, I haven't done the due diligence just yet. That's why Calvert's here. That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Gotcha.
Look into it.
Yeah.
Did
Adam-
you know?
Hawaiian fictitious land. Look into it.
It's gonna be there. It's just not there yet. Okay.
All right. I'm in.
Yeah, pop the
Look, I'm
top
in.
on that beer before you drink it. By the way, I've been.
Are those my leftover Modelo's?
These are 100%. Enjoy them all week.
I smell a legal case. Did you know 11 plus 2 and 12 plus 1 both equal 13, and both have 13 letters? In fact, they both have the same 13 letters. Dun, dun, nah.
Who cares?
Conspiracy. Conspiracy. It's all part of a satanic plot. The Illuminati did that
Yeah.
purposely. Look out.
It's
Yeah.
13 though, man. There's a
11.
13 in there.
You know that
Building
kinda,
7 and the Pentagon
Yeah.
8 something. Right?
11,
That kinda reminds me
11's,
of,
11's code for adrenochrome. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, bro.
Mhm, And it takes 2 to get that adrenochrome. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
That kind of
we
reminds
saying,
me of,
Adam?
like this guy on the subway. This homeless guy came up to me one time. He was kind of disheveled looking. He sat down on a milk crate that he had brought with him, and actually gave him my seat. And then he started talking, going off on rambling. And one of the things he kept saying was that the time it takes for your blood to circulate from your heart back to your heart is the same amount of time it takes from light to reach from the sun to reach the earth. And I'm like, all right, guy, all right. I looked it up. It's fucking true.
Whoa.
He
Actually,
was-
is kind of fun.
he
That's
was-
actually kind of wild.
This guy was rambling for 10 minutes straight about I don't know what. But that one was actually true. I don't know.
Well, I just want to let you
Some
guys
craziness
know
or something.
that, we are talking about the number 13, and just saying, what date was President Trump almost assassinated? July 13th. Look it up. Look it up. Look it
A
up.
bunch of letters
Look
there.
it-
Don't know how
look it
many.
up.
Illuminati.
Do your research.
Do your research.
Do your own research.
Do your own research.
Did you know the Beastie Boys album Licensed to Ill was the first rap album to go to number 1 on the Billboard charts?
I feel like I do know that because didn't that come under some strict criticism about like what white people, like why couldn't an African American do it? Why, like, oh, it's got to be white guys rapping. And that's what
I don't think
said
it did
it's
at the
number one.
time. I think it made sense at the time. And then later on, they're like, rah, white boys, rah. But honestly, I've heard a lot of interviews with like African American rappers who don't have anything bad to say about the Beastie Boys and are glad that the art form they know that the art form would not have gotten propelled to the level it got propelled to if 3 white kids from New York weren't fucking doing it. And so like, thank God the Beastie Boys got on the radio, because it allowed all the rest of us to get on the radio. I think that's kind of like a made up like media trope, just to drum up controversy about something innocuous. And again, I would imagine that folks like Jay-Z and fucking Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. I'd be like, hey, I'm glad these motherfuckers made it because otherwise we wouldn't.
What year was that?
Yeah, I was
I'd
like,
say
I don't know. I
85.
wouldn't go that far, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say
85.
85-ish.
Hold on, here we go. License to Ill.
This is where we are.
86.
86. Well done.
Yeah, I mean, what notable rap albums came out before that?
The Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah.
Sugar Hill Gang, maybe?
Well, no. I mean, yes, things that. But I'm saying, I should say, what mainstream notable rap albums came out before that?
Well, I mean, I guess
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
a good
argument
point.
is they should have been notable in mainstream, but they weren't the right color to be notable in mainstream. I guess that's the point that's being made. Is like it took 3 white kids. But look, the Beastie Boys were from. They were poor kids from New York. They hung out with that crowd and just so happened to make it big in that genre. And other guys probably should have made it big in that genre. And again, with like Run DMC, it
It's
took
like Run
buddying.
DMC, yeah.
It took buddying up with, a very popular white rock group to make it big with Aerosmith. So, look, I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but those were the parameters of the game, and that's just, thankfully, it all
I
happened.
mean,
You got some heavy hitters
Houdini.
on here. Paul Revere, Brass Monkey, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, and Girls. Whew,
Yeah.
all good
Oh,
songs.
yeah, it's a
They
great-
stood the
it's a
test
great
of
album.
time.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. I can't believe that the Beastie Boys haven't been retroactively canceled just for making the song Girls. Girls to clean up my room, girls to do the dishes, girls in the bathroom, girls. Bum, 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 bum. What a great fucking song.
It's so whimsical. That's why, man.
Yeah.
You can't,
And
you can't
then it
really
went-
hate it.
And that led right into you got to fight for your right. To
I mean,
motherfucking party.
I feel like rap is pretty much the only place that still is okay with like talking bad about women in,
Yeah.
in music, right? I mean, like,
Hold on.
is there any place else that you could say what rappers say about women and it would be okay? Like, even in a rock song, I don't think that would be really acceptable.
And you were actually
Yeah.
polite about it. It's
Maybe.
bitches, okay?
Yeah, it's bitches.
Well, I'm not a rapper, so I can't say that. So.
I say it on this show from time to time, but it's contextual. It
you're-
makes sense.
You're actually right, but I think that community, which is that community is a lot bigger than the rock community is anymore, any which way, understands much like comedy that it's not necessarily serious.
Yeah,
just has
it's
a good
not. It's
flow.
not always meant to be offensive. It's all about delivery, right? You
Yeah,
know?
sure.
And the other thing I want to point out is let's not forget 1986. A lot of like, it wasn't glamour rap, but there was still a lot of like there was still a lot of, still a lot of show going on. Still a lot of glitz.
Yeah,
and
it
glamour.
was still a little bit of like. I think before that, it was still a lot of like disco, like the carryover, because you still had like Curtis Blow
Yeah.
and shit like that. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Tight
It was
leather.
kind of like walking the line between hip hop and like the old.
Well, they
Fucking,
just
like,
they didn't know what it
soul.
was yet. They just didn't
Yeah.
know what it was yet. They were remixing beats and recycling fucking shit that
Yeah.
people hadn't heard in 30 years, and like, oh, that's cool. Let's make something new. It just was. It was a burgeoning art form, and the Beastie Boys were like a failed rock band who really wanted to rap. And
Yeah.
then, oh fuck, what's the guy's name with the long beard and the fucking? He's like a guru. He does everybody's albums.
Oh, Rick Rubin?
Rip
Rick
Rubin
Rubin.
was like, you guys should definitely just do this rap thing. You can keep the guitars in there. Let's just do it like this, and voila,
Yeah.
there's your
The
fucking
guitar
pop.
riff.
That's a good
We'll
point.
get you an African American DJ Hurricane, and let's roll.
Well,
Yeah.
let's roll
Much
on.
like Billy Idol. Hey, listen, you're a failed country singer. Let's get you in some leather. Let's get you jamming out, and then fucking voila.
Is he really a country singer? He's British.
He's a failed country singer.
Okay, I'm gonna look up Billy Idol fucking country music after we get done with this
That should
fucking
have
show.
been on the facts.
Yeah, did you know Billy Idol was once a fucking country artist?
Bonus.
Aspiring.
That's fine. Did you know banana trees are actually a type of flowering herb?
I did.
Alan knows that because his parents grow bananas, and they are native Nicaraguans. And I asked about 3 years ago if he could find out what type of bananas his parents grew, because I have always wanted to
Never
try
asked.
a slightly extinct commercial product known as the Gros Miguel, which means the Fat Michael banana, which caught a rot back in the 1950s. And all of our banana artificial flavoring is based on this flavor of banana, but we now go by the Cavendish banana, which is less flavorful but more resistant to rot and disease.
It's GMO banana. Yeah. People go.
Otherwise known as a Gamo.
Gamo. It's Gamo. I have never asked them. I'm sorry, so I'll ask
I know.
next time I talk
I know
to
you
them.
haven't.
Wait, hold on. Your
I mean, I
parents
will
still grow
forget.
the old school one?
I don't know that. He just never asked.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because they've always just split it off because very resilient. It's probably Cavendish. But yeah, like
I
they
don't
can
think
literally
any-
pull it and cut it, and then you could just start a new tree.
I don't think any self-respecting native Nicaraguan grows the British Cavendish banana. Okay.
That's fair. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'll ask.
Lies.
I mean, I will forget. If you text me one day, like in the middle of the day, I'll be like, "Hey, Ma, what kind of fucking bananas do you have?" She's gonna be like, "I don't know."
Good one.
Yeah. That's pretty much. That's what you're gonna get.
Throws one at him.
You think she knows? You think she knows the American genus of a fucking of the banana? Yeah, no shot.
Well, I mean, the question would be like, do you grow that standard bullshit supermarket banana, or do you grow like a good shit? And if she says good, then I'll be like, all right, that's that Gros Maga. Oh man, that's the good stuff right there.
So here we go. The movie version of this is Alan goes to his house. His dad's in the backyard suntanning with 2 banana slices over his nipples.
They're just banana rich over there. I have no idea.
Wait, hold on.
There's some fucking banana empire when they both pass away. I'm just be like, what? Why did we live this way?
So hold on. In your mind, Wes, like what does the banana chips have to do with him sunning in the?
It's kind of like the cucumbers over the eyes of white women who are just trying
Yeah,
to get
the only part of Latino men that really ages quickly is our nipples. So you put bananas over.
trying to sustain,
Yeah, you gotta
Wrinkle-free.
keep them fresh and dewy.
Lift up your shirt. Whew, God.
Look at those.
Supple nipples.
You so brown, but they are so pink. And finally, did you know the human tooth has about 55 miles of canals in it?
One?
Not.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, that makes sense.
Obviously, they're tiny, but there's a lot of little
I
perforations.
mean, your teeth are
involved.
porous, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. But that, like this whole, your small intestine being 30 feet, they should teach that in school.
They do.
I never heard that bullshit. Now, granted, I went to, a Doberman Pinscher
I was gonna
Bob
say, let's,
sniffing school,
let's,
but
let's circle back to the Cecil Tucky
I
thing.
mean, look, at the end of the day, though, like, what fucking good is it? What good's a tooth canal? I mean, the only canal you ever heard of in a tooth is a root canal. I mean,
all right. So maybe I was trying to, wrangle up some floozy at Frostburg State, and I did the whole 30 feet of small intestine. She was like, "I know, I heard that." Like, well,
That was your. That was
I
your
got a
pickup
gem
line?
for you.
That's what you got. That was you were leading with that.
You're not
Did
leading,
you
but,
tell her she was going to feel it in all 30 feet? Is that your next part?
right up through all your small intestine.
That's hot. That is hot right there. But the only thing that I don't know, that if I'm really stretching for amazement with that fact, it's like, you think of Venice and the canals and people go there, and then you think of on the microscopic level, there's I don't know, maybe some bacteria and shit. And it's just they're living in a whole different, each one of these is a fucking planet that has been undiscovered. Imagine we went somewhere. The world's big, man. And that's your fun fucking fact Friday.
Alan, thank you for joining us. Sorry.
Yeah, man, absolutely. See you later, guys.
Tell us something banana adventure comes. Adam, appreciate your time. It's been, I don't know, have we had you on in 2024?
Yeah, I think so.
All
I
right.
don't think we did. We were gonna have him on in January, and I don't think he made it.
No.
Yeah, I think like, ooh, the holidays are coming up. We got big plans with the show, and we didn't do anything.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fellas.
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
It's okay. You had better things to do. Like literally, I know what you were up to, and it was more important than this.
That's right. Jabberwocky, all right? Fucking don't forget that.
I'm waiting. I can't wait.
Sharpen up that number 2 in the sharpener that you have nailed down to your desk. Fucking pencil that puppy in there. Anyway, appreciate the swing by, man. Come by anytime.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Like a warm, creamy chutney. Get ready for another spoonful of the middle class holes.
Welcome back to the Middle Class Holes, Foxman, Alan, and Murr. Thank you, Adam, for indulging us, and thank you for understanding that if we crash a golf cart, we're more or less fucked.
We're utterly jabberwackied.
Jabberwackied out of it. I also, okay, I didn't get a chance to bring this up, and the conversation moved on, but I also like to point out, okay, this person presumably was trying to take safety precautions and do themselves a favor to not wind up in the hospital, and they did. I've watched many of TikToks, many of shorts where guys just don't do things like that. They gas it. I mean, people have fucked around on that hill before. Yeah?
Maybe. I don't know, man. The average age of like a, elite golf course. What do you think? 40? 50? So I would assume like not everybody's a dickbag like us, where we just like I'm gonna take this fucker down the hill to do it.
Let's do a tilt-a-whirls twist. Yeah. Let's do a Simone Biles splitteroo.
And that's what I don't understand is it's just like that guy seems like he was just reasonably operating the cart they gave him to traverse the course.
So, very, very safe Jewish man, but a Mort Goldman of the world.
Oh, turn. Yeah, no, yeah.
They told me about playing treacherous hills.
Because look, I drive 30-plus-year-old vehicles at work, and I've been in one where the brakes weren't working properly, and I know that you signed a waiver. It says, you know the dangers of driving a vehicle this old. Like, okay, I still expected to stop when I do the stop thing.
Brake reasonably, yeah. All right, we got some listener comments for you all. Then we're gonna go. Then Alan's gonna tell you where we can find us. Then we're gonna close this motherfucker out. First coming up from U.S. Copa America. Mind you, these are like 2 or 3 weeks old. We've had a stockpile of them. Alan, this is where you were on. You were walking your dog, and then you went into a 10-minute rant about how the USA needs to ramp things up or figure out how to compete in the Copa America. And you _fan 1977 says, buy yourself a new Orioles t-shirt, you cheap bastard. That one has a hole in it.
It did. It's an old one.
Yeah.
You know what else has a hole in it? My heart. Because it's been 40 fucking plus years since we won a goddamn World Series. We should be able to fucking wear whatever the fuck we want.
It's true.
Coming here looking like the Brooklyn Brawler and UCU fan. Camera off during job interview. This is on Instagram. Nivchar, Nivchr, writes, the virtual call is a soft introduction, not a decision call. If they're going to discriminate, they will do it when you come in anyway. Don't be a dick. Hell, I've been discriminated for promotions for companies I've already worked for 2 to 3 years.
Look, I stand firm on the video call. Like, I think you're an asshole if you don't turn on your camera.
I think that's what he's saying. Is turn your camera on.
Yeah. So I'm in agreement. It's just like, like he said, they're going to discriminate you when you no one's going to hire you because of this. I mean, can you blow somebody away? With your answers. I think if you can blow somebody away with your answers, I genuinely believe that any company that likes what you have to say is going to hire you. Like, all right, we're going to get past that fucking face tattoo, okay? And here's how. Like they'll work with you if you're who they're looking for. But so you turn it on, because if you deny it, they're not going to hire you because you're already being subordinate and you're not even employed yet.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't blow them away with your answers, you can do it one way or another. I'll tell you that. Dysplesiacs writes, I agree with the prior comment and introduction. It's an introduction. It's a handshake. The applicant got the handshake because of their resume. So the Zoom call is partially the purpose of determining the person's fitness for the culture.
What's your interpretation of that, though?
Wait, what?
I mean, they're just like piggybacking off the first comment. It's basically, yeah, we want to see you. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I guess
makes sense.
my point would be is like, in the last 10 years, we didn't have the option to do the format that we're doing, right?
Right.
Like when we started this podcast, we almost didn't have the option to do the format that we're doing right now where we don't have to be in the same room. So, yeah, if they want to see you, you should show them.
Okay.
Wes?
Let's blow them away. Deadpool comments, got it right. This is on YouTube. Or Deadpool got it right. Do you remember this?
I guess. Is that the comment?
No, that's the video. Do you remember the video?
Yeah, I remember me talking about Deadpool, how they were jerking the fans off, and that's all you really need to do to be successful.
And fans don't know what they want or don't know what they want. Perry Incorporated 2268 writes, I think generally fans are better about defining what they want, what they don't want, than what they do want. And even then, it's a little bit messy since there's too much social media mass psychosis playing into public opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the statement that fans know what they don't want, but they don't necessarily know what they do want. But yeah, because I still want to be surprised. I've read most of these comics, and I've read most of these comic series, and I know like the direction that they're supposed to go. I got this person at work that I argue with all the time, like, well, my husband said that that's not how that happens in the comics. I'm like, well, this isn't the fucking comics. This is a fucking movie, and if you, like, Zack Snyder, like, here's what's funny about that. Zack Snyder made The Watchmen, and he made it pretty much frame for frame how the comic went. And people even gave him shit for that. So it's like, I understand, like, the movie makers are kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. But, like, yeah, you got rich source material. Give me something based on that, but don't do something fucking weird because you think, like, I read a great quote. That's why I hate producers, people who have money in the game. All the way back to the first X-Men, they were going to do comic accurate suits, but the Matrix had just come out, and some producer came and was like, the Matrix is doing really well, and they wear leather, so let's not put them in the suits. Let's just put them in leather. And Kevin Feige was like, can I do everything else I want to do? And they're like, yeah, just put them in leather. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll put them in leather. And that's why you never got comic accurate suits. That's it. That's the only reason. But we can live with that as fans.
Yeah.
But we would have preferred it the other way.
Yes.
That's a good point. IB Haley 79 writes, fans don't know what they want. I remember when fans bitched about Heath Ledger Joker casting.
That's a different fucking thing. That's a different thing. Alan, you handle this one. You agree with me or disagree with me?
I froze a little there, so I didn't hear the last, 10 to 15 seconds.
He says fans don't know what they want. People were bitching about Heath Ledger being cast as the Joker.
Oh, who bitches about that? Fans, fans, I would kind of agree. Fans don't know what they want. What they want is oftentimes not feasible or not we don't think about it in the way a director or an executive producer would to present it to a mass audience for mass appeal. We're like, I just want this really specific thing that Wolverine did, or that, it's like Gambit. Like, the whole fucking fandom has been like, please give me a Gambit. Give me a good Gambit. Give me a Creole Gambit. And we're like, do we really want it, though? Because you're going to fuck it. They're going to fuck it up, and we're going to be like, see, they fucked it up. And we don't know what we want. Just let them do it. They got market research. They fucking tune into our phones. They know what we like. Just let them give it to us. Let them spoon feed it to us.
Then why did they
until
never
we're in
give
the
us
Matrix.
Did either of you guys see Deadpool and Wolverine this weekend?
No, not yet. Yeah.
We went and saw it on Sunday, and spoiler alert, not much of a spoiler, but spoiler alert, they do give you Gambit. They give you Channing Tatum Gambit.
Ooh.
And they kind of mock exactly what you're talking about.
Because
he's like,
they do.
Because he's like, I don't know what's coming out of your face hole right now, because he's talking in straight up Creole. And so like, but then he does some other things that he's like, ooh, you know, so there's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's good, oh, that's bad. And it's almost like Ryan Reynolds is using the screen time that he's providing to Channing Tatum as Gambit to say, this is what works, this is what not works, but this conceptually it will work.
Yeah.
Make him his fucking movie.
Well, again, like, it's just simple. Fucking Gambit was great because he was not like a main character, at least in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of played a little bit of a bit role. You can't have a fucking Gambit movie that just makes we're gonna listen to that for 2 hours. That's gonna be wild.
But you can't have Gambit as a guest star on one of the X-Men.
Well, yeah, you could, but you gotta find a good person to do it too.
You could make a Gambit movie, but he can't talk like that the whole fucking movie. He's got to have he's got to have a Louisiana accent, but it can't be like, it can't be so fucking like mush mouth.
It's probably over the top in fucking.
It can't be the defensive.
Yeah,
it can't be the defensive coordinator from The Waterboy.
Professional. Yeah. But I mean, like, okay, I'm thinking of a Nightcrawler-esque from the X-Men movies, like that type of screen time.
I think you can make a Gambit movie. I just think
not even a movie. I'm talking about like from
Just
X-Men
giving
2.
him more screen time. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Sure, he deserves to be on the screen in some capacity.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
They tried that with that Taylor guy, in Wolverine Origins or whatever, and you know, it was all right.
Well, lastly, this is a good one. Political merch on YouTube. Remember this? We were talking about you wanted to buy something with Trump.
No, I want to maybe get like a tumbler etched with the fight fucking.
That's
photo.
right. Smithy31 writes, quote, "It's fucking dope, dude." End quote. Yeah, gun violence is awesome. Americans are actual idiots. That's what he writes. Oh, actually, Americans. Sorry, he didn't say Americans. Americans are actual idiots.
Probably not wrong there.
We're not advocating gun violence. We're advocating someone surviving an assassination attempt,
Dude.
and then fucking rocking and rolling.
Again, take the human that is Donald Trump out of the equation. It's a politician who literally knows that people hate him, that someone's bound to take a shot at some point, and then they do. And I guess the question I ask myself, which is what to me makes it badass, is like, how would I like respond in that situation? And I would probably be a little bitch, and I wouldn't worry about my shoes. I wouldn't worry about standing up and throwing my fist in the air. I would much prefer them to put me on a fucking like plastic sled from a gas station that they sell at the last minute because there's a big snowstorm coming, and drag me to a fucking secure vehicle while also huddling on top of me because I'm a pansy whore that just wants to be safe.
Then they pour alcohol and peroxide on your ear, and you go, ee.
Yeah. On the other side of that, you got a guy who this did happen to, who said, wait, and then threw his fist in the air and fucking said, fight. Absent of who it was, that's a badass thing to have done. So I stand by my words.
Yeah, gun violence is awesome. Americans are stupid.
And it's not awesome. I don't want anyone to be in that situation ever. I don't care who it is. But if they are in that situation, I would much prefer they react in that manner.
That's fair. I don't know that it was. I don't know if it was awesome. It was. I see it less bravery and more like this motherfucker he's crafty.
Yeah.
He's got a persona. He's built a persona, and he was like, marketing moment. Check it out. Like
Pandering.
yeah. Because if we're being real, the motherfucker could have got shot then.
Yeah.
Again. You know what I mean? Like not smart at all. But it is what it is.
If it was Joe Biden, if that exact same, the entire scenario, and it was Biden, and he did exactly that, I would say, get that man not a crossword puzzle, a word search, and a cup of Ben and Jerry's, because he fucking earned my vote, and I will watch him barely walk upstairs for another 4 years.
See, and I would have been like, even more reason to get that guy out of there. He fucking has zero self-preservation. Like he didn't do it for the marketing. He didn't fucking do it to put it on T-shirts. He did it because his brain is mush, and he was like, oh.
He would have got nipped in and be like, oh, boy, yeah, man, these Pennsylvania mosquitoes are really nipping today. Huh. All right.
But either way, he'd have tricked me into fucking another global fucking dance down fucking power fucking alley. I'm drunk, and I hope that made sense.
Dance down power. Alan, tell all the dance down power alley men and women and trans and
The Jolly Walkers.
LGBTQers and Jelly Walkers. Jelly Walkers?
The
Jelly Walkers. Jolly Walkies.
Where
Jolly
you can
Ranchers,
find the middle class.
The Jolly Ranchers, I got you. You can find those. And all our fantastic media such as this on all your favorite social media websites. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Classholes on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and fucking other shit. And then, you can fucking also find us for all your listening pleasures on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Nobody cares about email anymore. It's a dead medium, except for work.
Yeah.
All right.
Tickler.
All right, so what? Coming up in the next 4 months, because I told you we present we come through about 30% of the time.
We're Hall of Fame baseball players.
That's right. A good bad movie coming up in the near future. I do want to get see if we can get Sam from the Drunken United's football show, and we got to get there's other guys from the other that other podcast that we chatted with on Instagram. They want to get on Mailers. We'll figure it out. Anyway, man, thank y'all for here. Be safe tomorrow. Don't get road rage. Get silly. Enjoy the Olympics.